tonight for my horror movie of the day, I watched Kimberly Peirce's version of Carrie, which came out last October, and I kind of wish I'd seen it in theaters because I actually kind of liked it, and there were some visuals in it that I feel like on the big screen would have been really striking. I haven't seen the De Palma version since I was in high school, so it's been, I don't know, probably 15 years, so I can't compare. But I also don't believe in comparing one version of a film and another version, especially, like, if it was originally a film and then it got remade, that's one thing, but if it's, like, a novel that got made into a film a couple times, like, take each film on its own merits. So many of the reviews that I read, like, professional reviews, let's put quotes on that, from real critics, and then assholes on Mubi, because everybody on Mubi is an asshole, mubi.com, full of assholes. I don't know why I can't leave that website. Every single person who gave it like 1 or 2 stars, their entire comment was unnecessary or not as good as De Palma's or whatever. No, that's not okay. Don't go in thinking, oh my God, it's De Palma's. Like, no, it's a different movie. If you can't go into that movie and say, I didn't like X, Y, and Z about this movie that I just saw without going, I didn't like it because it wasn't just like De Palma's, then you're boring and you're not thinking about the movie in and of itself. If you can't divorce one movie from another, why are you even watching movies? Like, oh my God, I didn't like, I'm trying to think of a movie that's, whatever. It's like the same people who are like, oh, it's good, but it's no Citizen Kane. Like, no, of course it's not fucking Citizen Kane. It wasn't trying to be Citizen Kane. This movie was its own movie. Take it on its own merits. You lazy goddamn pieces of shit. That said, now that I've gotten my anger out, I don't really like, is it Chloe Grace Moritz? I don't get her, why people dig her screen presence. I don't. So I mean, I can see people, if they complain because of her performance, that would be one thing. Because not that she was bad, I just don't like her presence, if that makes any sense. But I liked everybody else. I liked all of the supporting character women. Like, all the supporting actresses in there were great. Julianne Moore was great. Julianne Moore with those porcelain skin and the freckles. Ugh. Beautiful woman. And she really just went for, like, creepy-ass religious zealot. Like, she went for it. Ansel Elgort was really good as Tommy. I really don't like it when I find young people attractive because he's, like, almost 10 years younger than me, and I'm like, I feel like such a pervert. He's born in 1994. I was, like, seeing movies and thinking about them critically in 1994. Yeah, where was I going with this? Oh, I really, really liked the girl playing Sue Snell. I thought she was sort of wonderful. What was her name? Gabriella Wilde. I thought she was really good. She's like a baby also, probably. 1989, so she's not too much younger than me. Yeah, I do that with actors that are similar in age. Anyways, Judy Greer obviously was fantastic because she's always fantastic. Having been a girl in high school that was teased a lot from, like, my whole life, I felt like part of why I always like the Carrie stories, and if anyone's complaining about this as being, like, an unnecessary remake, they probably all forgot about the 2002 television version, which I just found out tonight was written by Brian Fuller, and I remember liking it too, except that it was on TV, so it wasn't very gruesome, because you couldn't really be gruesome in 2002 on NBC or whatever channel aired it. But Patricia Clarkson played the mom in that version, and I distinctly remember thinking she was really good, because that's such a great role. There were some moments that were really delicate in the film that I particularly liked. Like the relationship between Carrie and her mother. She's this horribly abusive woman, but she's still Carrie's mother, and Carrie still feels this filial love for her. And I thought those moments were really well acted and really well shot, and they felt, like they felt real. Like that connection between the two of them just felt so real and so natural. And like the moment when she's trapping her mother in the closet and she's like, "I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry," and you could really tell that she felt sorry, but she had to do what she had to do. And when she, spoiler alert, kills her, same thing. And then the moment, like after she kills everybody and has a, goes nuts in the prom, when she's like covered in blood and she's just killed everybody, and including the evil, Chris character. There was this camera moment that I really loved where it flips and suddenly she's sideways and she's just like filling the frame that way, and she snaps out of her psychosis, and the very first thought she has is mommy, 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 and she says it like she's like 6. And like we've had those moments where we just go nuts, and then the very next moment all we really want is like a hug from our mom, and that the way the transition there was just so well done. And then she goes to find her mom, and she can't find her mom, and then she finally does find her mom, and you think it's going to be this comforting moment, and then it turns, and Julianne Moore character is going to have to kill her, and then it all goes to pot. But those little moments between the two of them where it's both combative and full of love are just it just felt really, really accurate and really sincere, and really how mothers and daughters interact together. I don't think you see it well, like portrayed well on film that often, because most movies are directed by men and they don't really know what it's like to be a daughter to a mother, and a mother they can't know what that feels like, and it never quite comes off right, even if the actresses they know what it's like, but the camera has to capture what the actresses are portraying, and that's part of why I think films about women, directed by women, with women, work just a little more, because there's just something about the way women film women that it captures something that men just can't seem to figure out how to capture most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time. So it's just a lot of really beautiful shots. I'm trying to remember what else Kimberly Peirce has directed. I'm not sure that I've seen anything that she's done. What did she direct? Oh, Boys Don't Cry. Yeah, okay, I saw that's a good movie. I didn't see Stop Loss. I just feel like if you didn't see the movie because you thought, oh, not a remake of, like, don't think of it as a remake. Think of it as another adaptation. If you're a fan of the novel, obviously you probably don't want to watch anything that's not as good as the novel, because nothing's ever as good as the novel. But if you were resisted watching this movie, I think you should give it a shot. The one thing that did bug me, and it's not her fault, it's not the director's fault, it's most likely the studio's fault, is the CGI special effects. They're just terrible. And, we like bitch and complain, oh, the CGI, it ruins the movie, and it's like, is the CGI really, at this point in modern technology, that much cheaper than, like, actually blowing up a house? Because the CGI looks like shit, and if, like, the difference between CGI blowing up a house and, like, how many people, you probably have to have, like, 100 animators for that, right? Compared to actually just blowing up a house once. Like, is that really, which one is saving you money? Because if the actually blowing up a house or blowing up a model and making it look like you blew up a real house is only, like, negligibly more or, like, on par, go with the actually blowing up a house. It's gonna look better. And the last thing I wanted to say is most of the people I saw, they were complaining about the use of modern technology and social media, like both regular people complaining and, like, critics. And I'm like, this is a movie that's supposed to be set in 2013 in a high school. All those kids are going to be using cell phones. All those kids are going to be on YouTube. Those kids should have been on Tumblr. They're going to be on Twitter. They're going to have at least a smartphone, if not a smartphone and a tablet and an iPod and all kinds of things. Like, that's the reality of teenagers, because they're growing up in a time where we have that shit. and they grew up with it their whole life, practically. And if your only complaint about a film is the use of modern technology by normal people, like, they used telephones when they were brand new in movies. They used fax machines when fax machines were brand new. They show people using answering machine services when answering services were a thing. Like, I'm sorry that films contemporarily set show people acting like contemporary people. What? It's so shocking and degrades the film. No. It just makes the film more real by having a 16-year-old on a cell phone tweeting and texting and all that jazz. And yeah, in 20 years when maybe we don't have that anymore, they'll be like, oh, it's so funny. But it's like, that's because people are stupid and they can't separate a film documenting time, documenting, like, it was made in 2013, so it looks like it was made in 2013, and being dated. I hate the term dated. Like, yeah, in the 1980s, people are wearing clothes that look like it's the 1980s. That's not dated. That's from 1980, whatever. Like, it's contemporary films should capture what contemporary life is like, so that in 20 years you can go put in a movie from 2013 and go, hey, that's what 2013 looked like. Like, can we not? It's the best capturing of history that we've ever had, and we just keep bitching about it and saying that it makes things dated, and it's like, yeah. Okay, I got a lot of feelings. Anyways, I really enjoyed this film. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. Directed by a woman. Some great performances. Probably if you like Chloe Grace Moretz and you like her and you get her persona, you'll like it or you'll like her because she wasn't terrible. I just don't like her as her screen performance or her screen presence. I like the costume design. I don't know who did the costume design, but A+. So yes, watch it, enjoy it. Don't be one of those people. Just don't. Okay. Be better. You can do it. You can be better.